If you don't have the time to work on music every day, I have 3 creativity books to sharpen your mindset about music, about output. So let's jump in. Hey friends, Solano here from ruffinstudio.com. I just got into producing back again a few months ago after a break of 1.5 years because I really wanted to focus on mixing and mastering, on all the kind of technical side of things. And I found it a little bit overwhelming to actually getting back into producing because there are so many plugins out there, so many options, so much gear, so many tutorials. I don't know. I actually took a course from a dubstep guy called Gates. I already mentioned this guy in another video. I learned some crucial things in there. And one thing that he said was we need to study not only techniques and stuff, but also we need to study workflow, arrangement, and the most important thing, philosophy, aka mindset, probably, right? And I thought, okay, philosophy, what should this mean, you know? Always try to sit down, and I always had the expectation to produce something release worthy, you know? And if this didn't happen, I felt like a little bit depressed, right? But this is actually the part of the process. Then after a few weeks, I jumped on the internet. Yeah, I did my homework about finding some books that helps the creative mind a little bit more and the creative thinking, because I think all the pros out there, I mean, the people they have constant big output, they got this right somehow, even if it's not intentionally, or even if they are not aware about it, they got it right. The thing is, there's a line in all of those books that I found, and I wanted to share some golden nuggets for creativity in those books that I want to share today with you. And one book that really shaped my mind is this one, Big Magic. The cover looks a bit cheesy, right? But what I'm doing here already is, again, judging good or bad. She's focusing on for writers from a writer perspective, but we can adapt it to all kind of art, right? And this book actually took out the pressure from me. So let's jump in with 3 books that I really love and shape my mindset, and I will also share some golden nuggets that I get out from them. This book is called Big Magic: Creative Living Beyond Fear, and it's by Elizabeth Gilbert. I actually listened to it as an audiobook, but for me this is the creativity bible now, and that's why I got it in a print version. It's around $20. I mean, this is the best investment I think I could get. Way better than the newest hub plugin would ever do. Golden nugget number 1. We should create art for ourselves, and it should be playful. We should be have fun doing it, right? And we should do it every day. And yes, it's painful sometimes, but that's totally fine because it's part of the process. That's what I learned from this book. And as I mentioned before, I always thought I need to bring up the Ableton doing something, and then it needs to be release worthy. And if this didn't happen, also not happened the day after, I felt like, you know, those bad voices coming up. This track is shit. This is not, it's garbage, whatever. And it felt more like a pain, you know. The other day I talked to a friend and I said to him, yeah, you know, regarding this book, we should do music every day. And he said, yeah, I do music once a week and it's more like a pain. But that's the wrong point, right? It should be playful. It should be enjoyment. It should fulfill us, even if it's sometimes shit comes out of it. And we need to accept this, think that it's just part of the process. And another thing that blew my mind, it's a very weird thought process, but I actually don't remember how this is called. But she mentioned that the Greek and the Romans, if there was an artist who created something amazing, people people used to say this artist had a genius, and they don't used to say the artist is the genius, but he had a genius. So it's like having a genius and he puts your inspiration in your head as a gift somehow, it's really weird, I know, and really voodoo magic whatever, but it actually takes the pressure away, because I like to think, or that's what she said, is the Greeks used to think that an artist had a ghost in the walls that's showing up with some inspiration, and sometimes he's not in the mood. He's sleeping in the walls. He's not coming out, this motherfucker, you know. But this is okay. If you think of that in that way, for me, it helped really to take out the pressure and just release. So, for example, the genius has no schedule. He's moody sometimes, right? And he's showing up sometimes, brings us some inspiration, some ideas, and then we should take it. And if he doesn't show up one day, it's okay, because we commit to 50 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours a day for producing. And then we know if the genius doesn't show up, we have another session tomorrow. Maybe then he shows up, or maybe also not tomorrow, maybe the day after. And that really blew my mind somehow. Next thing, what she said is we need to create a habit. Just 15, 30 minutes a day, even if we don't feel doing it. The thing is, really just show up and doing something, not just playing the same loop 15 minutes, but actually adding something or edit something, whatever. Again, maybe the genius then is showing up, maybe it's not. Who cares, right? Then what she said, this was also very inspiring, because I always thought I need to, those happy accidents, something just works. I don't know, and then you think, "Phew, I don't even know how this happened, how I created that. It's okay. We don't need to know it. Maybe it's a gift from this fucking ghost in the wall, and that's okay." So yeah, these are the nuggets for this book. Next one is the which one? Still Like an Artist, by Austin Kleon, I guess. I mentioned this book already when I tried to recreate the generate pad in another video. This book did for me is it sharpened the mindset of not wanting to be 100%, or we can't be 100% original. And actually, the Beatles have been a cover band. Paul McCartney said he was inspired by Elvis. So we have the Beatles here, very successful. They got inspired by Elvis, and Elvis, on the other hand, again got inspired by Roy Hamilton, I guess. They just took it always to another level in their own way, right? So, and this also relieved some headache, some stress, some pressure. Then the next thing that I got out of this book, Still Like an Artist, was imitate and then emulate. And that's exactly what I did on this generate pad video. I mentioned it there. So we learn, for example, some techniques. We want to imitate, I don't know, generate pad, but then we need to actually emulate it so it becomes our own version of it, right? We don't just be a copycat. We just take it as an inspiration, like the Beatles took Elvis as an inspiration, like Elvis took Roy Hamilton as an inspiration, but then take it further, right? And another thing that is great in this Still Like an Artist book was a little thought process or an exercise, I don't know, which is imagine yourself as an extension or a new or an, yeah, some kind of extension, a branch, like a tree, right? A branch of your heroes. So let's say three heroes. We have your heroes are Villalobos, maybe Preku, maybe Generate. I don't know. I just put out some names around for the sake of an example. So we have those three people on top, but they got inspired by someone else too. I guess I think so, right? Everyone is. You just get into this tree as your own version. Yeah, it's really weird, man. But you need to read that book. It's amazing. Or all three. I need. That's the golden nuggets for this book. Like still like an artist. There's another book from the same author. I guess it's the newer one. It calls Keep Going. What he said in this book was create your very own PlayStation, like your studio, right? Where you can just sit down, and it needs to be easy accessible. So I have a Korg Volca drum, which is battery powered, and I just can jam around a little bit if I feel to on the sofa or whatever, and just record it, live recording, and then maybe use it as a starting point. He also mentioned to let go of the idea of arriving, because it should be play again. It should be an enjoyment. Music creation shouldn't be a pain. It should be enjoyment. It should be playful. It should be fun. Then next thing what he talks about was making lists and notes if you have any ideas, right? So if you do the dishes or whatever, and something pops out in your mind about your last track, maybe I could use this technique, or maybe I should add this one. Just bang it out in a notes app from your phone, and then when you come back the next day or whatever, you already have some sort of to-do list where you can work on your track, right? And then again, also mentioned in this book, establish a routine to show up regardless if you feel it or not feeling it. Yeah, you just need to create a routine. Goethe, for example, smelled some rotten apples to get his juice flowing. Yeah, it just needs to work for you. For example, I like to do music early in the morning, because then I feel really inspired and fresh, and with a fresh mind, fresh ears. So yeah, those are my three go-to creativity books. Number one, Big Magic. Number two, Still Like an Artist. Still Like an Artist. Number three, Keep Going by Austin Kleon. And to sum all books together, what I learned the most out of those books are: think of creativity, inspiration, whatever, like a ghost in your walls that shows up now and then, and take it as a gift from the ghost, from the universe, whatever, and it shows up now and then, not every time, and we need to accept it, and it's okay. Another thing is to create a habit, daily habit, just 15-30 minutes, whatever works for you. And number three is music production should be fun, it should be playful. Why else should we do it, right? The process is the goal, not the release or whatever. The process is the goal, nothing else. It should be playful, it should be enjoyment, not pain, not pressure. And yeah, that's what I learned out from those books. As always, I wanted to mention my 7-step low end checklist if you struggle to get the low end right and tight. I have a 7-step checklist for you ready to download for free, of course. And yeah, let me know if you like this video. Really, if you only want to read one book about creativity, I recommend this one. Big Magic is the new Bible for me. I bought it so I can read it, yeah, now and then when I feel depressed or something. I just about my music, I just read a little bit, and then I feel already better. So hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Thanks for watching, means a lot. Cheers.